So you want to learn how to make a booking website with WordPress. Whichever way you look at it, building a booking website for your business is one of the best moves you can make in 2024. You don't need any web design or coding experience. It's easy to do and it won't take you too long. And you'll immediately be able to book clients anywhere in the world at any time. I'm going to walk you guys through how to get your domain name and web hosting all set up, which is necessary for any website you want. I'll show you guys how to download a pre-built website template to save you a ton of time. And then I'll also show you guys how to customize that template to make it your own. And finally, we'll add the booking functionality to the website using a software called Calendly, which is an incredibly powerful and beginner-friendly tool. We're not going to mess around with any API keys or anything like that. You literally just copy some code and paste it onto your website and you're done. Now that you know what we're going to be doing, let's jump right into step number 1, which is getting your domain name and web hosting. If you want to build a website, you have to have a domain name and web hosting, plain and simple. A website literally doesn't exist if you don't have either of these two things. Now, a domain name is just the address to your website. So it's what people will enter into the search bar to find your site. So something like yourwebsite.com. And web hosting, on the other hand, is renting space on a server that's connected to the internet. There are web hosting companies that exist all over the world and have buildings full of these servers that are connected to the internet. And then you can sign up for a plan with them to rent space on one of those servers for your website to be accessible online. It's pretty similar to signing up with a phone provider. The domain name is like your phone number, and web hosting is like getting service with Verizon or T-Mobile. Out of all of the hosting providers out there, we recommend Hostinger on this channel because, in our opinion, they're the absolute best. They provide a ton of features for the most affordable price for hosting. Their customer service is top tier, and their tech support is always eager to help you. So if you guys want to sign up for web hosting today and get a custom domain name to build the website and follow along with me in this tutorial, then go ahead and click on that first link that's down in the description, or you guys can go to creativeprowebsite.com/hostinger, and it'll take you to a special co-branded landing page that we have with them. From here, we can scroll on down to see the 3 different plans that they have available for you. There's the premium plan, the business plan, and the cloud startup plan. I recommend the premium plan or the business plan because you get a ton of included features for the affordable price that you pay. With the premium plan, you get to create up to 100 domain-based emails for your website. So that would look like something like levi@yourwebsite.com. You have their unlimited free SSL included in the hosting plan, which is the encryption for your website. You also get a free domain name included in the premium and business packages, which is a huge bonus. You don't have to purchase it separately, which is nice. You've got unlimited bandwidth to your website, which means they're not going to limit your website's traffic in any way or how many visitors can visit the site at the same time. And there's so many more benefits. You guys can make your own decision, but I'm going to go ahead and select the business plan and just move on. Next, you get to choose your period, basically how often you want to make payments. So I'm going to choose every 12 months and start scrolling down to the payment section. You're going to be paying for all 12 months up front, so just keep that in mind. Also included with the business web hosting plan is the daily backups for your website. So if your site ever gets corrupted or you accidentally delete something, you have backups for your entire website for free. You also get the free domain name, which is included, which is usually like $10. And you also have domain privacy protection, which means they're going to protect your personal information like your phone number and your email from telemarketers and solicitors. And you're also going to get the setup fee waived. Now, make sure my coupon code is applied down here, and now you'll see that you're getting a massive discount on your hosting plan. Pretty good deal if you ask me. I'm going to enter in my credit card information, and I'll see you guys on the next screen. Now, this is the hosting setup screen. I'm going to go ahead and click on Start Now, and from here, we get to choose if we want to create a new website or migrate an old one. Next, I'm going to choose WordPress and create my own WordPress login. I'll skip adding any plugins or templates for my website, and I'm also going to skip the AI text content because we'll already have all of that stuff in later steps. Next, I get to choose the free domain name that's included with my hosting plan. I also always recommend using a .com because it's the most common and most professional looking. Next, I can click on Edit My Website. After this, you'll be taken to your WordPress dashboard. Now, if you get a little banner that appears on the top of your screen that says that this is a preview of your website, or if you see the word preview in your domain name, that's okay. There's no need to worry. This just means that your website is propagating in the background and Hostinger is allowing you to make changes to your website temporarily before it's even up, which is a wonderful feature. In the past, you would have had to sit here and wait at your computer for your website to be up and running before you could make any changes to it. Now, propagation just means that Hostinger needs to send out your new domain name that you guys just purchased and send it out to every single server in the entire world and let everyone know that you just purchased it and that it's live. This propagation of your domain registration usually won't take more than a day, and sometimes it can take only a few minutes. So just be patient and wait for the preview to be gone, or you can just start making changes now. I'm just going to go ahead and skip to the main site after the propagation is complete. I'm trying to make things as quick and painless as possible. We're not going to be building an entire site from scratch. That would take far too long. I'm going to show you guys how you can download a free website template to save you a bunch of time on building the base foundation and structure of your website. With a template, all you have to do is just add your own pictures and text, and you're pretty much done. Quick and painless. From your WordPress dashboard, you can hover your mouse over the plugins tab and then click on Add New. Plugins are basically like apps on your smartphone. You can download them and then they can do some cool things on your website. So you can think of this Add New tab as like the app store for your website. We're only going to be downloading one plugin plugin for this tutorial to make things really easy, and it's called Starter Templates. Once you find it, and it looks like this, you can click on Install and then Activate. Next, click on Elementor. After that, you'll be able to see the full library of templates. As you can see, there's a ton of free and premium templates that are available for you to look through, and they're broken up by category up on top, which you can see right here. I'm going to use the search bar and look for a template that I've already chosen off camera. I think this one looks really good. When you find one that you like, you can click on it and scroll through the entire preview of the website. We're going to skip adding a logo, and next we're going to choose our color for the website and our font combination. I'll let you guys pick what you think looks best, but I'm going to go ahead and stick to the default and just move on. Once you're done making those small changes, make sure that all of the boxes are checked except for this one, and then click on Submit and build my website. Congratulations, our template has successfully been downloaded and installed onto our website. Now you can open up your website by clicking on View Your Website. Now, whenever we go to our brand new domain name, this is what people are going to see. Step number 3 is to customize your site. This is the fun part. Now we get to add our photos and text to the website to make it look like it's our own. Okay, so in order to edit our homepage and add our pictures and text, what we're going to have to do is go back to the WordPress dashboard. So I always keep my WordPress dashboard open on a new tab. So every time I open something, I always jump over to a new tab like this so that I can just close out and go back. But if you guys didn't open a new tab and this is the only tab you have open, in order to get back to your WordPress dashboard from here, you're just going to hover over your website name right up here in the top left corner, and then you'll see the word dashboard right here. So you click on that and it's going to take you back to your WordPress dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and close out of that tab as well. And now we're back to our WordPress dashboard. We can kind of close out of some of these notifications that pop up here just to kind of clean things up. Okay, so from our WordPress dashboard, if we want to make changes to our website, what we're going to do is go and hover over our website name, and we can open it up on a new tab just like this. And actually, I don't know why I had us go back to the WordPress dashboard, because the Edit with Elementor button that we're going to be clicking on is right here in the admin bar. So whatever page you're looking at currently is the page that you're going to open inside of Elementor, which is the page builder that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. So for instance, if I wanted to instead edit the About page, I would open the About page and then click on Edit with Elementor. You guys get the idea, but I'm going to click on the logo to go back to the home page, and we'll say Edit with Elementor. All right, so now we're inside of Elementor, which is that free to use drag and drop page builder plugin. And so the first thing they're going to do is kind of tell you about the new AI features that they have. So you guys can just kind of close out of that. And we're also going to close out of the navigator over here on the right-hand side. So inside of Elementor, you'll see that you have a website preview over here on the right-hand side. And then over here on the left-hand side is where you have like the settings and all of the things that you can make changes to. So like if I clicked on this heading text right here, you'll see that I have all of the different settings that I can make changes to. Okay, so you guys understand the basic layout. We've got the settings over here, and we've got the preview over here on the right hand side. Let's go ahead and talk about sections, columns, and widgets. So websites are broken up into 3 different parts inside of Elementor. You have a section, which is kind of like this big square. Here, let me go ahead and close out of editing that widget here. Let me just click on something down here so that it stops showing that pink square. There we go. So whenever you are editing a website inside of Elementor, you have sections, columns, and widgets. A section is basically the background. So you'll notice that every time I hover my mouse over this background area, all of this back here, that little pink square appears all the way around. So you'll see I'm kind of tracing it with my mouse. And so that is the first section. And usually the first section we call a hero section. So this is a section up on top. And you'll notice that if I scroll on down and hover my mouse right here, I've got another section. It's this giant pink box that surrounds this entire area of the website. And if I were to scroll on down again, you'll see I've got another section right here, and it highlights this entire area. And then down here is another section. So sections are basically, it breaks up the website into sections, obviously, but it's more of the background of whatever part you're trying to edit. So if I wanted to change the background image, I would say edit section like this by right-clicking out here. And then you'll see that the background image, there's that little AC unit, it's right here. Just to show you guys that if you want to edit the background, you're going to go to the section. Okay, so the section is the background, and you'll notice that you're on a new section anytime this little tab appears right here where you see the plus, the 6 dots, and then the X. So you'll notice that this is another section, come down here, this is another section, come down here, another section. You guys get the idea. So inside of a section, you can place a column, which is this gray dotted box like this. Okay, so inside of a section, you have a column, and columns stack horizontally. So if I were to add a new column, you'll see that it stacks over here on the right. And if I add another column, you'll see that it stacks on the right again. So they stack horizontally like this. I'm going to go ahead and just delete both of these to undo what I just did. So inside of a column, which stacks horizontally, you have widgets, which as you can see, every time I hover over all of these little small items, so the text and then this button right here, there's this smaller pink box that pops up inside of the gray dotted box. Now widgets, which are usually like actual things you're putting on your website, for instance, over here, these are widgets. So you've got a heading, an image, text, video, buttons, dividers, all this stuff. We call these widgets. Widgets stack vertically. So if I were to add some more text like this, you'll see that they stack up and down. And then if I add a picture, it's going to stack vertically, as you can see. So if I want a picture to be on the side over here, I would have to put it in its own column, for example. So just to show you guys really quickly, I would add a new column, and now I could put a picture over here on the right-hand side, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete both of these. Again, you don't have to follow along for that part. I'm just trying to explain the layout of Elementor first. Okay, so just to review, because that's everything, we've got the section, which is kind of like the background. Inside of a section, you can place columns, and they stack horizontally. And then inside of columns, you can place as many widgets as you want, and those stack vertically. Okay, now anytime you want to edit something, you can either click on it. So example, if I want to click on this text right here, you'll see that now I'm editing the icon box. And so the reason that it's called an icon box right up here in the top is because there technically is an icon. So if I were to just add one really quickly, like this angry face, you'll see that there's an icon and then there's text. It looks like they just kind of cheated and deleted the icon and just used it as their heading text. So that's why it's an icon box, but technically it looks like text, just so you guys know. But anyways, anytime you want to click on something, that's how you can make changes to it. If I were to click on this button, for example, now I'm editing the button, as you can see. If I scroll on down and I wanted to edit this button, I could click on it, and now I'm editing the view more button, as you can see. If I want to change, this icon right here, I could click on it, and now I'm editing the icon. You guys get the idea. The other way that you can edit something is by clicking on the actual little pencil icon right here, and that's always also going to open up the settings for it. For example, sometimes you can't click on something, like I can't click on this column right here because every time I try to click, I'm editing the icon box. So if I click on this little box right here, it'll open up editing the column. Okay, so now that you guys understand the layout of Elementor, let me go ahead and talk about the 3 different tabs that you have over here. So anytime you click on anything to edit, like this widget right here, or this button over here, or the text up on top, anytime you guys click on something to edit, you'll notice that you have 3 different tabs open up on the left-hand side. We've got the content tab, which is the content inside of the widget that you're editing. So it's pretty self-explanatory. This is where you would change things like the text, or if it was a picture widget, that's where you would change the picture. Because this is an icon box, this is where you would change the content of the icon, as you can see. So it's pretty self-explanatory. The second tab that you have is the style tab right here. And so the style tab is where you would change the style of the widget. So that would be things like the color, the typography, which is like the font, the size of the font, the style, like if you want it to be normal, italic, if you want to underline it, you can underline it. You can make it capitalized, uppercase, lowercase, whatever you guys want. So this changes, and here's the color as well. This is where you guys can change the style of the widget that you're editing. And then finally, we have the advanced tab, which is the third tab. And the advanced tab is obviously more advanced. We're not really going to touch much of the advanced settings over here. The only thing that we might play around with is the margins and padding, which is more beginner friendly. Margins and padding, if I drag this up and increase the value, basically just adds space inside of the widget square. So you guys know that this pink square is the widget. You'll notice that I'm adding space inside of it. So let me go ahead and clear this out. Same thing with padding. If I increase it, you'll see that there's more and more space inside the square. And also, let's go ahead and just kind of bring it back down to wherever it was. Margins, if you go negative, will remove space from the square, just like this, as you can see. Padding, if you go negative, won't do that. So you guys can kind of play around with what you think is best for whatever you're trying, whatever look you're going for, but that's pretty much the only thing that we're going to use the advanced tab for. Okay, so now you guys understand the layout of Elementor. Let's go ahead and actually start making changes to the website. So I downloaded this heating and air conditioning specialist template because obviously the domain name that I purchased is air conditioning CAPW, which is Create a Pro website. So airconditioningcapw.com. So I'm pretending that I'm building a website or a booking website for an AC repair company, right? Obviously, when you guys were looking through all of the templates, you can choose one that actually works for the industry that you're in, but that's the example that we're going with today. So now that we're making changes to this, if we actually wanted to change the title right here, there's 2 ways that you can change text inside of Elementor. The first is you click on the widget and then you can come over here to the left-hand side and you'll see it says Heating and Air Conditioning Specialist. And you'll see right here, it says Heating and Air Conditioning Specialist. And then over here on the right-hand side, you'll see all of this dummy text right here. And then you'll see the dummy text right here. So anytime you want to make a change to something, you can just go and find it over here on the left-hand side. And that's how you would make changes. So for instance, if I wanted to add some text, I could do so by adding text to the front by clicking over here in the title. And now you'll notice that it added it here. If I can double click this correctly, there we go. But the other way that you can add text in Elementor is by literally just clicking on your website and you start typing. So watch this, I'm just gonna type directly on my screen. Hello world, just like that. So you can literally type directly on your screen, which makes things a little bit easier for beginners if you guys are looking for something like that. You can do the same thing with this text right here. I can just click on it and start typing right here, as you can see. There we go. And that applies for any text on your website. So if you scroll on down and you guys wanna make changes to this text right here, you literally just click on it and you guys can change the text. If you guys scroll on down more and you see this title right here, you can literally click on this and you guys can type whatever you want. So it's really easy to make changes to your text. Okay, so now that you guys know how to make changes to text, let's go ahead and talk about buttons. So if you guys want to make a change to a button, you obviously just have to click on it so that you're editing the button, as you can see up here on the top. And then over here on the left-hand side, you'll see the two main settings for your button, which is pretty self-explanatory. The first thing is the text, so what it says. And then the second thing is the link, which is where it's going to take them. So the first thing is what it says, which is the text, the title. It says call for a visit, but you could say something else if you wanted to, like schedule an appointment. So schedule an appointment just like this. And then you've got the link, which is where it's going to take them. So for example, if I were to put something like YouTube, just like this, and then I were to update my work in the bottom left corner, which by the way, this pink little update button in the bottom left corner is basically saving your work and publishing it live on the internet. So if I were to save my work and then go and preview my website, which is this little eyeball icon, it's gonna open my website up on a new tab so I can interact with it. So now if anyone clicks on the button, which I just pasted the YouTube URL right here, if someone clicks on this button, it's gonna take them directly to YouTube, as you can see. So that is how a button works. You basically just change the text that's displaying on it, and then you also can change the link right here. I'm gonna go ahead and just put a hashtag back into it, which is basically just a placeholder. So now if I click on it, nothing's gonna happen because we can link this up later, but I just wanted to show you guys that's how you make the changes to it. Now you guys are probably wondering why I'm not showing you guys how to make changes to the style tab. And there's one main reason, which is the entire color scheme of the website is already good to go and coded into the website because of the template that we downloaded. If you guys still wanna change the color of your website, I wouldn't recommend doing it inside of Elementor, because if you do it inside of Elementor, you're going to be editing one button at a time. So if I want to change all of this blue to be yellow, for example, I would have to click on this one, go to the style tab, change it to yellow. Then I'd have to click on this one, go to the style tab, change it to yellow. I'd have to click on this one, go to the style tab, change it to yellow. You guys get the idea. It would become very monotonous very quickly. And so we're going to avoid that. If you guys ever want to change the colors of your website, instead go over here to the appearance tab and click on customize right here from your WordPress dashboard. And then what we're going to do is go to the global tab, and then we're going to click on colors. And so now you'll see that we have a color palette right here, and we can edit the colors. So for example, if you guys want to change the blue on your website to be something else, you can just click right here and make sure you copy your hex code before you change it so that we can go back to this color. But if I wanted to, I could make this yellow, for example, and now you'll see that everything on my website has already changed to yellow. Now there's a couple blue icons still here, like this one right here, but that's because of this second blue color right here. So if we change that one to yellow as well, then we'd be good to go. But I could change it to orange if I wanted to, and now my website is orange colored, as you can see. You could change it to whatever color you want. So now it's pink. I could go with red if I wanted to. You guys get the idea. You can make this whatever color you want. I'm gonna go ahead and just paste that blue back in here, Control V. There we go. So if you guys ever want to actually change the entire color of your website, I would recommend doing so just with these two basic colors right here, because that will change everything on the entire website. And then when you guys are done making those changes to color, I would click on publish to save your work. And then once you pick a color, I don't think you would need to go back and change it anymore. So that's completely up to you guys. If you guys do change the color, then I would do it over there. So anyways, now that we're back inside of Elementor, if you guys want to change the background image, it's really easy to do. You're going to just right click out here in the ether and say edit section just like this. Or you can click on these 6 dots right here, which if I hover my mouse, you'll see it says edit section. So if I click on that, now I'm editing the background or the section. The first thing that you want to do is go over to the style tab, and then this is where the background image is. And so if you guys want to change this, you can click on the image right here, and I'm going to go ahead and choose a free image from Pixabay, and let's go ahead and just download an image really quickly. Let's do something like construction, and I'm going to show you guys how quickly you can make a website look different. Let's go ahead and choose just a random picture of construction. If it would stop reloading on me, that would be great. Okay, let's just pick this one for now. Oh, it disappeared as soon as I clicked on it. All right, we'll choose this one instead. All right, we're going to say save and insert, and it's going to instantly enter that picture into the background. I can also go to the background overlay right here, and I can reduce it a little bit, as you can see. So maybe I'll reduce it just a little bit, so you can see the picture a little bit better. And then maybe instead of heating and air, I could go ahead and change the text right here. Let's go ahead and change it to something else like... Okay, so construction and renovations for the Austin area, something like this. Let's actually shorten it. We'll just say construction and renovations, because this is looking 3 lines. We don't need 3 lines. There we go. So construction and renovations, and then we could say schedule an appointment right here. We could also change the color. That's how easy it is to quickly change a website to be your own. You're basically just changing pictures and text, and now this is no longer an AC company. This is a construction company that does construction and renovations. I know nothing about construction and renovations. I don't know if companies do construction and renovations in the same business. Not sure. I'm just trying to think of, an idea off the top of my head. But you guys get the idea. It's literally that simple to change this to be a website for you. So for example, if you're not an AC repair company, if you're like a web designer who's freelance, then maybe instead you would come in here and change the text to say something like something like web design and UX UI design or something like that. And then you'd come back here, edit the section, and change this to a picture of something else, for example. Like let's just do a laptop. And then we could pick something like this, and we'll say save and insert. And so now this is a web design website. So you guys get the idea. It's pretty easy to kind of decide what you guys want for your template. But I just wanted to show you guys that if you want to change the background, you just edit the section and go to the style tab. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and go back to the main image, which is this one. We'll say select. And then I'm also going to go ahead and just put the text back. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna click on update to save my work in the bottom left corner. And you guys will see me do that very often just to make sure that I save while I'm doing my work so that I don't lose any progress if something happens. Okay, so that's how you guys can change the hero section. You guys already know how to change the text. You just click on it and start typing. You guys know how to edit a button. You literally click on it, and then you guys can change, oh, there we go. You guys can change the text right here and the link. And then you guys also know how to change the background image. So let's scroll on down. The next section that we have is like this, I guess, promotional area where you say like your 3 different services. So we do air conditioning service, air conditioning repair, and heating system installation, right? You guys can change this just as easily as literally just clicking right here, and you guys can change the text by typing something else out. So instead, you could say something like UX UI design, like I'm pretending I'm a web designer. So you could change this, and then if you want to change the icon, you would go over here to the content tab, and you'll see the icon right here. And so let's just look for a laptop. That's literally how easy it is. So now all of a sudden, if, you know, for example, the web designer example that I gave you guys earlier, if you scroll on down, you could put your 3 different services that you do. So maybe it's UX UI design right here. You do content planning, and then, you know, online presence building. I don't know. You could say something like, I'm going to set you guys up with a full package for social media and a website and all of that stuff. Up to you guys. But it's just an example to show you guys that that is how you would change these 3 icons. And it's really easy to do, but I'm going to go ahead and just change it back because obviously this is a heating and air company. So we'll keep the sun that was there before, and we'll keep the text as well. So that's how you guys can make changes to these. And then if you guys want to change the text down below as like a little short description for whatever service you're doing, you can either click over here in the description and change it here, or you can literally just click on your website and start making the changes. It's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so when you guys are done making changes to your services, you can click on the update button in the bottom left. And then you guys also already know how to make changes to this button right here. So I'm not going to show you guys again, but this view more button would probably want to be linked to your services page. So you'd go to your services page, you would copy the hyperlink and paste it right here so that when someone clicks on this button, it goes to the services page. Okay, so now we'll scroll on down a little bit farther, and we have this little icon section. This is like your social proof section. This is where you would put the different logos of the companies that you work with. If you guys haven't, if you're like new to the industry that you're working in, this is your first website, and you've also never worked for any clients yet, then maybe you would just consider literally deleting this entire section right here. It says delete section right here. And so if I do that, and you guys can just remove that section completely. Now, you know what, to be honest, I'm not even going to keep that section in here anyways because it was kind of useless. Let's go ahead and just move on to this next section down here. First thing I'm going to do though is actually click on this button right here and add a little bit of space in between these two because my goodness, they're kind of close together. So let's click on the advanced tab after you edit the button, and under padding on the bottom, if you just click and drag, we can add a little bit of padding to the bottom like that. I think 57 kind of looks good. And then we'll click on update to save. Okay, so now that we're done, we've removed those logos right there. We can go ahead and move on to this next section, which again, you guys already know how to change text. You can literally just click on the screen. The button as well, you guys can change to be whatever you need. And then these icons are the exact same thing. You click on it and you've got your description right here, and then you guys can choose your icon. Now this over here on the right hand side is an image widget, which you guys probably, it's pretty self-explanatory, but after you click on it, you can literally change the picture right here. So if I wanted to change that picture to be this one instead, I would just select it, and now it shows this picture instead. So you guys get the idea. So next we'll scroll on down and we've got more text, which you guys know how to change. This is more text as well, or is this a button? It's an icon list. Okay, interesting. So they made this an icon list instead of a button for some reason. Not sure why, because it's just text. This is completely separate. This is a divider widget. So this button right here, if you guys actually want to link it, you just click on the read more text right here, and then there's your link right here. So AC repair installation services in your locality. So if you guys wanted to link this to a web page, you would literally just, the link right here, you guys can put in the URL. So again, if I put youtube.com right here and then you click on it, it would take you to YouTube. So I'll let you guys link that to whatever you need. Scroll on down a little bit further, and we've got this little promo area where there's a video button. Obviously, you would actually want to click on this right here and link it to an actual YouTube video. So if you guys don't have a promo video for whatever business you're doing, maybe you literally want to consider just deleting this entire section right here. I'm not going to delete it because this is just an example and I'm just showing you guys how to use Elementor. But so if you guys don't have a video, you could literally just click right here, delete this entire section. But if you do, just don't forget to link it right here so that when people click on this, it, you know, actually does something. All right, we'll scroll on down, and next is kind of like a social proof section again. Numbers speak. Well, okay, that's incorrect. So we can put the S right there and delete the S over here. So numbers speak. So you guys already know how to change text, but let me show you guys how to edit these counters right here. So the first thing that I want to show you is actually, if you guys want to remove those little snowflake icons in the back, you want to edit the column like this. Go to the style tab. And so it looks like they're using an image in the background. So if you guys don't want that image in the background, you could just click on the delete button right here and it would take that out, because depending on what your business is, you guys might not want snowflakes in the background. So I'll let you guys decide. But I'm going to go ahead and undo that so the snowflake is back there. Now, when you guys want to edit these counters, it's really easy to do. So the first thing that I always tell people is whenever you want to make a change, look for it over here on the left-hand side. So if you want to change the 150, you'll see the 150 is right here. Pretty self-explanatory. So if I change this to 200, you'll see that now it counts all the way up to 200. So whatever number you put here is what's going to display. You can change the prefix and the suffix. Basically, if I were to put a percent sign in the front, or let's do a dollar sign, now it shows that there's a dollar sign in the front because it's the prefix. And then if I put a suffix, like a percent sign, you'll see that now there's a suffix. So one is in front and one is behind, and you can put whatever you want right there. And then you'll see down below is where the title is. So it says air conditioning repairs, and here it is, air conditioning repairs. So if you guys want to change that text, you would just change it right here. And it's the same thing for both of these counters. You just click on it and it's the exact same settings. All right, so next we'll scroll on down and they've got like a little bit of a photo gallery just showing off, I guess, AC units and stuff. This could probably be where you would have, I don't know why they have a photo gallery for an AC repair company. It's kind of weird, but if you want a photo gallery to show off more, this is more of like a portfolio section, I suppose. If you guys wanted a little bit more of like a portfolio style thing, like if you're a web designer, maybe instead of pictures of AC units, you would put pictures of the websites that you've built. If you're a photographer, you would put the pictures that you've taken. You know what I mean? If you're a landscaper, maybe you take pictures of the landscaping that you've done, and then this is like the portfolio where you would show off those pictures so people get a feel for what your work looks like. I don't know why you have a portfolio section for images on an AC repair company, because like, cool, I can see that there's an AC unit right there, but whatever. So next, after you guys make changes to these, which by the way, these are the exact same image widget that's like up here that I showed you guys how to use, same widget right here, but it's the exact same widget as this one right here. So if you guys want to change these pictures, it's literally as easy as clicking on it, and then you can just choose the image right here. And so you would upload from your computer and you can choose whatever picture you need, and it'll show up in your media library. So for example, it's using this picture right here. If I want to change it to this picture, don't ask me why I keep using this picture, but you know, there it is. You guys get the idea though. If I wanted to change it to this picture, I literally just click on it and I can choose whatever picture I want. I think this one was the one that was originally there. There we go. So I'll let you guys make changes to your portfolio section. Next is the testimonial section, and it's really easy to make changes to this as well. This is text, and so you guys already know that you can just click here and type out whatever you need. And then down below are these testimonial widgets. Well, they're not even using a testimonial widget. That's interesting. They're using an image box, because there is a testimonial widget, by the way. Let me show you guys. It's literally a testimonial right here. So I'm not sure why they're just using an image box, but hey, you know, whoever built this template decided to do that. So when you click on it, it's pretty easy to make the change. You'll see that if I wanted to make a change to the picture, I would just click on the picture right here and I could choose whatever image I want. If I wanted to change the text down below, I would literally just change the text right here. And then next you'll click on the star counter right here. And so this is a star rating widget, specifically just for stars. And you'll see that the rating is at 0 to 5, but you could go 0 to 10 and now there's 10 stars. I don't know why you'd want to do that. Most of the time it's 5 stars, but whatever. You can actually give the number rating. So right now it's at 4.2. So that's why it's at 4. And then there's a little bit of blue right there. I could say 3 if I wanted to. And then there's only 3 stars. So you guys get the idea. You know what? Let's give Jim a 1 star just for fun. All right. This Jim Doe sucks. Okay, so that's how you guys can make changes to the star rating. And then next, you can actually click on the title right here and you can literally just change his text. So whatever the guy's name is, that's what you would do. All right, so that's how you guys can make changes to those testimonials. Scroll on down a little further and we've got kind of this promotional setting, or the promotional section is what I was trying to say. Over here on the left-hand side, it's just an image widget. So you literally just click on it and you guys can choose whatever picture you want. Again, you guys know how to do that. And then over here on the right-hand side, you guys know how to edit text and buttons. So I'll leave you guys to make those changes yourself. Now down below, these are going to be icon boxes. And so when you click on it, it's kind of the same as pretty much every other icon box that we've had. So like these. So when you're making changes to these down below, it's really easy. Here's the icon, and that's that little address icon right here. So if I wanted to, I could change this, pick a different icon. Let's just see what they have for location. Oh, okay. For location, they literally have the same widget that they're using. Okay. So you would probably use location for this, for your address. For the title that says address, you would literally change that text right there. And then for the actual address, it's just placed in the description. So you guys can literally just type out whatever you want. Okay, and so that would be the same for all three of these. So as you can see, you just click on it and you can make whatever changes you need. All right, and so that is how you guys can make customizational changes to your website. So you could take your website from looking like an AC repair company to looking like a completely different industry just by changing some pictures and text. It's really simple. And Elementor makes it really easy, so it's a pretty fast process. So once you guys are done making changes to the homepage, you can click on Update in the bottom left corner to save your work. You can click on Preview Changes if you really want to, and you guys can scroll through the preview just to get like the full effect of looking at your website online now, which looks pretty good. And then also you can go and check out the other pages. So here's the About page right here. I'm not going to make any changes here, but you guys already know how to make changes. Let me just go into Elementor really quickly and just double check that everything is pretty much the same as the homepage. I don't want to leave you guys without knowing how to edit a specific widget, but it looks like this is just going to be a heading text. Yeah, so you guys can click here and literally just change the text. You can change the text in pictures. You guys know how to do that. Same thing over here. You literally just click on it and you can start typing. Click on the images and you can change the picture. I showed you guys how to make a change to this, and then you can also just delete it if you want. And then over here, so this is an icon list. It's pretty self-explanatory on how to use it. You'll see that unmatched performance is on top and then home protection is second. And you'll see that unmatched is on top and then home is on second, as you can see. If I want to put home protection first, I can literally just drag it up like this, and now you'll see that it's on top. So you can reorder them just by dragging. It's pretty easy. And then if you want to change what actually is said, you just click on one of them and you've got the icon right here and the text right here. It's super easy to make changes to it. So you could change the text, and then you can also change the icon just by clicking on it, and you can choose whatever you want to put here. And then on the left-hand side, it's another picture, which you guys know how to change. And then this is a counter. Oh, it's an icon box. Okay, so 20 years of experience is an icon box. And again, you guys know how to change it. There's the text and there's the other text. So pretty self-explanatory. Looks good. So I'm going to click on Update to save my work, and I'll just close out of this tab and go back to the WordPress dashboard. Now, there's actually 2 other pages on your website, and I'm not sure why the template doesn't show the other pages right here. It just has the About page right here. Kind of weird, but I'm going to show you guys how to make that fix in just a second. But there are 2 other pages. This template comes with a home page, About, Contact, and Services page. So I'm not sure why that's only showing right there. It must have been an error whenever I downloaded the template, but that's okay. I know how to make the fix. But I wanted to show you guys, you can go over here from your WordPress dashboard to the Pages tab, and we can click on All Pages, and you'll see all of the web pages that are built into your website. And so you'll see that we have a home page, About, Contact, and Services. And then you also have a privacy policy page. It's a draft. So if you guys want to make a privacy policy, you totally can. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and just throw it in the bin so it's a little bit easier to see that we have 4 pages on our website. So with that being said, let me actually go ahead and jump right into showing you guys how to make changes to the Services and Contact page. And then I'm going to show you guys how to actually fix the navigation bar. So first, let's go ahead and take a look at the Contact page. So just like with the About page, remember when we were viewing the page like this, you can click on Edit with Elementor right here. Well, you can do the same thing from the Pages tab inside of your WordPress dashboard. You can literally just hover over the Contact page, which we couldn't see on our website, but I can hover over it and just say Edit with Elementor just like this. And so now I'm editing the Contact page inside of Elementor. And so you'll see that for the Contact page, it's really simple. This is a picture that you can change. This is text that you can change. And then down below, what we have, if you click on it, is a toggle list. And so you'll notice that if I click on Top Tier Experience, it'll tell me some text. And then if I click on Business Focus, it gives me text. Right? Pretty self-explanatory. This is like a very standard FAQ section, like a frequently asked questions section. So for example, you could click right here on any of these. It's very similar to the other icon list on the About page. So if I want to drag this one to second place, I can, and now Top Tier is second place and not first. So you guys know how to do that. You click on it and you can change the title that shows. So Top Tier Experience, I could change the title right here to be something else. So let's pretend that this is an FAQ section. So frequently asked questions. A lot of people ask me, how much will it cost? And so they click on it, and then you can give some text right here where you would say something like, oh, normally we, every job varies from job to job, but we have a $50 consultation where we come out and give you guys an estimate for the job, whatever. That's where you would put the text right here. And then you can click on this one and you can add another question and then another answer and so on. So you guys get the idea. All right, so that's how you guys can make changes to your toggle list. We'll scroll on down a little bit further, and over here on the left, it's just text. So I'll let you guys change that. And then over here on the right-hand side is a WP Forms widget, which is like a WordPress forms, like a contact form. So this is your contact form. And you can't obviously make changes to this. As you can see over here on the left-hand side, the only option that we have is just to select which form we want to use, which we only have one, and it's the simple contact form. So over here on the right-hand side, you can't make changes. So let me show you guys how to make changes to your contact form right now. Back on your WordPress dashboard, which again, I always recommend opening multiple tabs so you can bounce back and forth. If you didn't, by the way, and you need to know how to exit out of Elementor, you just click on the hamburger icon and you say exit right here. Okay, so From your WordPress dashboard, we can go over here to WP Forms, which as you can tell, that's the widget that we're editing right now. So it says WP Forms right here. And so we'll go to WP Forms and we can click on all forms right here. And so you can see right below, there's a list of all of the different forms that we have available on our website, but there's only one. If I added a new list or a new contact form, you would have 2 entries here. Right? So this is just a list, but we only have one. So let's go ahead and click on edit on the simple contact form. And so now you guys can make changes to your contact form. So for example, if you want to add a phone number, you would come over here to all of the different fields that you have and you can go number and drag it in. So now I can click on it and then I can change this to say phone number, or maybe I just say phone like this. And then if I want to add placeholder text, just like these do, I would go to the advanced tab and I can add some text here. So phone number. So you see how it says name and then first name, phone and then phone number, email and then enter email address. I'm kind of following that trend. And then lastly, you'll notice that there are 2 things. First of all, it's a required field. So you can go to the general tab and say it's required and then you get the little asterisk. So they basically can't hit submit unless they enter a phone number. And then also you'll notice that this is visible and these are not. That's what the little eyeball icon with a slash through it means. And so when you're editing it, go to the advanced tab again and you can hide the label. And so that is how you could add a new field to your contact form. And then if I came over here and refreshed the page, it would display that extra field right there. Now, obviously there's already single line text right here. It says phone number, which is funny. So you don't really need phone number here. So I'll go ahead and just click on it and you can delete by clicking on the little trash can icon. I just wanted to show you guys that that's how you could add something. And then you can rearrange by dragging like this. And then obviously you can delete by, clicking on the trash can. Okay, so that's pretty simple. That's how you can add fields over here. You've got the adding, and then you've got the settings. Bounce back and forth. Now over here on the left-hand side under settings, the only thing that I would say is make sure you go over here to notifications and make sure the send to email address is correct. This is where it's gonna send. So anytime someone hits the submit button, where is it gonna go? This is where it's gonna go, right here. So right now, using shortcode, it's pulling your admin email from your WordPress account, but I'd recommend changing this to whatever email you actually want it to go to. So you would literally just type in your email right here. Like delete this and then type it in. But other than that, whenever you guys are done making changes to your contact form, just click on save in the top right corner and then you can click on the X and you'll back out. And that's how you guys can make changes to your contact form. Okay, well that's the contact page. So I'm gonna click on update to save and then we'll close out of that one. So now I'm back on my pages tab. If you guys remember, this is where I clicked on edit with Elementor. Lastly, we can go ahead and edit the services page. So I'll click on edit with Elementor right here. And so now this is my services page. And so first of all, I've got my picture right here, which you guys know, you just click on it and you can change the picture. You guys know how to change text as well as changing text right here. Scroll on down and we've got even more services that we can show off. So you guys know how to make changes to these. You click on it, there's your icon and text. And then you guys also know how to change your buttons here if you want to link this to something. Scroll on down a little bit more. These are identical to these up here. So for the benefits section, you click on it, there's your icon, text, and that's it, right? Pretty self-explanatory. And then you guys can think of benefits as to why someone would want to use your services. And you guys can kind of put them here and sell yourself. And then lastly, again, you just have this bar, which looks like it's on every page, and it just has your contact info. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so now that the services page is done, we can close out and go back to our WordPress dashboard. And we can go ahead and preview our website one last time, because I'm assuming that you guys have made a bunch of changes to your website, and now it looks fantastic and very personal, as opposed to just being an AC template that I downloaded. But again, just because this is an example, I just want to show you guys how to make the changes. I'm not going to build the website for you guys, obviously. So anyways, now that we're done and you guys have previewed your website, let's go ahead and make changes to our navigation, so the header, and then we'll also make changes down here to the footer. Because if you noticed, inside of Elementor, this was the last thing that we could see right here. We never got to make changes to this, and we also never get to make changes to all of this up on top. You'll see that if I open up Elementor really quickly, let me show you guys what I mean. You'll notice that in Elementor, we don't see the header, and then if I scroll on down, we can see the footer, but I can't make changes to it down here. So I'm going to show you guys how to make changes to it. And the reason for that is because Elementor makes changes to the top, or makes changes to the middle of your website, but your WordPress theme, which is the customizer, makes changes to the top and bottom, which is your header and footer. Now we're going to jump out of Elementor so that I can show you guys how to make changes to your header and the footer of your website. I'm also going to show you guys how to build a logo completely for free for your site. From your WordPress dashboard, go ahead and open up your web page or your website up on a new tab like this. And then once you're viewing it, instead of clicking on Edit with Elementor, we're going to jump into that customizer that I was talking about just a second ago. So we'll click on customize. Okay, so now that we're inside of the customizer, if you guys want to make changes to the header, we'll go to the header builder right here. And then if you guys want to make changes to the footer, we'll make changes inside of the footer builder right over here. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. And if you guys remember earlier, I showed you guys how to go to the global tab, and then that's where you can change the colors of your entire website, right? So if you guys remember this is where you guys can make changes to make it yellow or orange or whatever color you guys want for your website. So you guys get the idea. But instead of going to global this time, let's go ahead and click on the header builder. Now, inside of the header builder, you'll see that we have a visual representation down below of what's happening up above. So down below, we've got the site title and logo. So there's the logo. We've got the primary menu, which is the menu right here, which there's only one menu. We're going to make a change to that, don't worry. And then over here, we've got the button, and there's the button, right? If I drag the button to the center, now the button's in the center. If I drag the button to the top center, now it's on top center. Do you guys get the idea? It's pretty self-explanatory here, but I'm going to go ahead and put it back over here on the right-hand side. All right, so let's just go left to right and make changes to our header. The first thing is the logo. All right, so let's go ahead and click on site title and logo, and this is where we're going to make changes to the logo right here. So if you guys want to learn how to build a logo completely for free for your website, let's go ahead and do that now. We're going to go up to a new tab, and we're going to go to a website called Logo Maker. But we're going to go to Logo Maker without the E, so logomaker.com, just like that. Okay, so from here, you guys can either click on templates right here, and you guys can view all of the templates that they have available, and you can pick one and then start making changes to it, or you can just click on Start My Design and build something from scratch. All right, so now we're building something from scratch here. So up here in the top left corner is the search bar where you can look through over 3 million different graphics that they have available for you guys. So that's pretty cool. And they're broken up by category up on top as well. So I could search for like camera, and then I'll see a bunch of camera icons, as you can see. So you guys have a lot of different options, but I'm gonna go ahead and just clear that out and go back to the canvas over here. Over here on the left-hand side, we've got basic functions like text. That's how you add text. We've got basic shapes, so I could add like a triangle and a square. You guys get the idea. And then over here, we've got the pencil. And so this is how I can do custom drawing for a logo. And then I have the paint bucket and the undo button. And then over here on the right-hand side, we've got the saturation square. So for example, if I click on this square right here, we can change the saturation from black and white to full color. And then we also have the color wheel. So I can change the color of the logo. And then down here we have opacity. So if I were to put this square, let's put the square in front of the triangle. I can change the opacity, as you can see, and now it's a little bit more opaque versus transparent. Or excuse me, it's a little more transparent and now it's more opaque. There we go. And then we also have the layers down below. So right now you'll see the squares in front of the triangle. If I change the triangle to be on top of the square, now it's in front. So that's how you guys can make changes to that. I'm just gonna highlight everything and delete it. Start from scratch. So let's go ahead and start building a logo. Let's go up here to the top search bar and let's just search for something like air conditioning. We've got a couple logos that we can use here. I'm gonna go ahead and use, let's do this one. So I've got my little AC unit, and then I can add some text over here on the left-hand side. I can drag it over like this, add something like air conditioning like that. And then I can add another one if I really wanted to. And I could do CAPW. And then we can go ahead and increase the size of the text if we really want. And instead, let's actually do this. I'm gonna go ahead and drag this text down below. You guys can choose the font category by clicking up here. So if I went to simple and modern, and then you guys can choose the actual font. So let's do like something like Archivo Black or something like that. We'll increase it. And then I can drag the text like this on top. Let's go ahead and increase the letter spacing on this one. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good. Yeah, there we go. So it takes up like the whole thing. Let's try Poppins bold maybe. I don't know if I like the text so spaced out. Let's do something a little bit less. So CAPW, air conditioning. This is a terrible logo, by the way. I'm just kind of building something for you guys. Whenever you click on something, you can use your arrow keys to kind of move it over incrementally if you want, like this. I think that looks pretty good. And then we can drag our icon on top. And we'll center it up. Okay, so that's my logo. It looks terrible, but that's the logo. Actually, you know, let's try this. Instead, we'll kind of come over here from the side, and we'll have this text go like this. So CAPW, air conditioning. That's a little bit better. Not my best logo, but I'm just kind of doing something really quickly for an example for you guys. So now what we can do is we'll keep this text blue, and then I'll change this to black text like this. And let me go back to my website. It looks like it's going to be on a bright background, so I think it's a good idea that we're making this pretty dark. Okay, so now that my logo's done, and again, you'd probably want to put a little bit more thought into a logo rather than just putting an icon and some text, but I'm just doing this quickly for an example. But whenever you guys are done and you like your logo, you can go over here to the top right corner and click on Save Logo, and then it's going to take a second to render your logo, and when it's done, you'll see this little blue download options button. If you click on it, it's going to open a new tab and tell you to pay for the high resolution file, which I think is like $29. Yeah, so $29 for the one design, $60 for like more or whatever. You don't need to pay for this. I just wanted to show you guys that's what happens if you click this one. Instead, for free, we're going to download the low resolution PNG file. So you click on that right there, and then you can agree the terms, enter in your email, and send the free logo to your email. Done. Just like that. As you can see, it's free, right? So we're good to go. So now that that logo has been sent to my computer, the next thing I'm going to do is build a site icon, which a site icon is this little guy right up here. It's called a favicon. Right now, yours is just like the very stereotypical globe that comes by default. If you guys want your own custom, we're going to delete the text and keep the icon. I'll make it a little bigger. But this is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to click on save again, and then I'll click on download the low resolution file, enter in my email, and send. Perfect. Now I'm done. And now I can go check my email and download these to my computer. And then once you guys download it to your computer, I'm going to go ahead and close out of both of these tabs because we don't need them anymore. And so from here, again, we're back inside of the logo. And so if you guys lost your place, we went into the header builder, and then we went over to site title and logo. We can click on change logo, and then we'll upload the files from our computer. Let's go to downloads, and I've got my two logos right here, which is the icon and the main logo. And once we have our main logo selected, we'll click on select. It's going to ask if you want to crop the logo, and I'm just going to say skip. And now that is how you guys can put in your own custom logo into your website. So that's pretty cool. So let's also go ahead and upload our favicon, which right below the logo, if you scroll on down, here's the icon at the bottom. So you just click on it, select the icon. I'm going to use this bad boy. It's going to ask if you want to crop it. I'm going to say skip the cropping. And now I've got my icon up here as my favicon, just like that. Pretty cool. So I'm going to click on publish to save my work, and then I'll go back to the main menu. And also, by the way, the dashboard, if you just refresh the page, then the icon's going to show up there as well. Cool. So that's how you can make a custom favicon for your website. All right, so now that that's done, we can go ahead and move to the right and start editing our navigation menu. So in order to edit the navigation menu, instead of going to the header builder, this is the navigation menu. If you click on it, it's going to say if you actually want to configure the menu, you have to click here. And so if you click on it, it's going to take you over to the menu. But instead, let me show you guys how to get there the right way. So instead of clicking on header builder, we're actually just going to go down to menus right here from the main menu. And then you'll see that the main menu right here is what we're trying to edit. And you'll see that right now it only has the about page. I'm not sure why, but that's it. So if you click on add items, under all of these different options, under pages, you've got home, about, contact, services. So let's go home, about, services, and then contact. And so now, just like that, we've got our, what do you call it? We've got our different pages up here in the navigation bar. But it looks like we accidentally have a duplicate, so let's go ahead and just remove this one. So you just click on it and click on remove, or whenever you have add items open, if you click on the X, it'll remove it. So let's go ahead and add the about page again. And then as well, you can rearrange these. So you just drag like this, and that's how you rearrange them. And you'll see that now about is at the top. So that's pretty cool. Also, I just realized we want this get a quote button to actually take them to the contact page. So there's no point in having a duplicate button right here. So we can actually remove contact. We just needed about and services right here. And then this will be our contact button. So actually, I don't like how it looks like just all alone right here. So instead, what I'm going to do is go back to the main menu, header builder, and I'm going to drag the primary menu over here to the right-hand side. So it looks like it's just two things. We've got this and this over here. Also, if you guys really want to, it's completely up to you. You can go back into menus, main menu, and you can also add the home button, because not a lot of people know that you can click on the logo and it'll take you to the home page of the website. For example, if I'm on the about page right now, like this, instead of clicking on the home button, I can click on the logo and it'll take me to the home page, just so you guys know. But a lot of people don't know you can do that. So sometimes it's nice to have a home button just so that people who are a little less knowledgeable, I guess, would know how to go about it. Drag over. There we go. So now we have home, about, services, and contact right here. So let's go ahead and make this button actually link up. I'll click on publish to save. Back under the header builder, we can finally edit the button that's over here. So you can either click on the little pencil icon right here, or you can click on button right here, or you can literally click on button right here. It doesn't matter. It's going to take you to the same place. And then from here, what we're going to do is we can change the text if we want to. I mean, I'm just going to say get a quote. So get a quote, but you guys could say contact if you want, whatever you want. And then the link, what we're going to do is link it to our contact page. So let's go back to our WordPress dashboard. We'll go to all pages. And then we're going to view the contact page because we want our URL right here. So airconditioningcapw.com/contact. This is what we need, Controller Command C, and then we'll paste it right here in the link. And that's it. Let's go ahead and click on publish to save, and our header is done. So now whenever you click on get a quote, it's going to take you where you can actually get a quote. So you can ask for an estimate. Pretty cool. All right, so that's how you guys can edit the header. Let's go ahead and start talking about the footer. So we'll scroll all the way down. All right, so from here, we're going to click on Footer Builder once we scroll on down. And now you'll see that we also have that exact same visual representation as the header. There's just a lot more going on. So the first thing is you got copyright at the bottom, and there's the copyright. You click on it, and it's literally just text. It's using shortcode, but you guys can type out whatever you want. Over here on the left-hand side, we've got widget 1, which widget 1, as you can see, is about and then your address. Underneath it, we have the social icons, which are these social icons right here. Then we have widget 2 right here. There it is. Widget 3 right here, which here it is. And widget 4 is right here. So what you guys can do is for the about right here, you guys can click on it, and you guys can click and start changing your address and phone number for your contact info. For the social icons, if you guys want to make changes to these, you'll want to link your socials to these, and it's really easy to do. All you do is just go to a new tab. And so, for example, for Instagram, you'd open a new tab and go to Instagram. And then you would log into your account, view your account, and then just copy the URL, right? So I'll just copy this as an example. This is not the correct URL, but I'll just copy this. And then under Instagram, you paste the URL to your account right here. And then you click on publish to save your work. So now, whenever someone views your website, let me just show you guys, you don't have to follow along. Now, whenever someone views your website, if they were like, I want to go check out his Instagram, you click on it and it would take you straight to your Instagram profile, which is why it's important to not copy just Instagram's URL. You have to actually log in, view your account, and then copy the URL. So it takes you straight there, but you guys get the idea. So that's how you guys can you can add the link. So that's your Instagram. Facebook, same thing. You just go open a new tab, go to Facebook, paste the URL. Same thing for Twitter, go to Twitter, paste the URL. If you guys want to remove one, you just click on the X button right here. And then if you guys want to add one, you would just click on the drop down and find it. So let's go with Twitter again. And you would add it, and then there's Twitter again. So that's how you guys can add and remove social icons. And then you can also rearrange them. So if you want Instagram on top, now Instagram's in the front. Okay, so now that you guys know how to make changes to this first section over here, on the right-hand side, we've got conditioning, heating, and special. These are just 3 different menus. You guys can honestly delete these if you want to, but if you guys want to make changes to these, you'd click on it, and you'll see that it's literally a menu. So it says navigation menu, conditioning, and then it says the menu that you're using is conditioning. So you can't make changes to it here. If you want to make changes to it, you have to go back to the main menu and click on menus, and you'll see that we have conditioning, and there's conditioning. We have heating, and there's heating, and then you have special, and there's special. So just like we made changes to this navigation menu up on top, you have to make changes to each one of these if you want, or you can just remove them. It's completely up to you. If you want to use these so that you have links to different websites and different pages, you totally can. You just click on conditioning, and then you have AC installation, repair, filter, commercial, installation, repair, filter, commercial. They're right here. So you'd click on it, and then you can put in your URL wherever you want that link to go. And then you click on AC repair. Oops, there we go. You click on AC repair, and then you can paste your URL. Click on filter, paste your URL. And then you guys get the idea. There we go. Obviously, you can also change the text by just changing the text right here. So let's just say there. And now, as you can see, it changed in the menu, changed over here, and it also changed up here. So now, AC repair for filters, you put in the URL. This would be if you have a massive website with a ton of different pages. So for now, if you're a beginner and you only want to have the same 4 pages, just home, about, services, contact, then you probably don't need all of these different menus linking to a whole bunch of different web pages. Completely up to you guys. If you guys don't want them on your website, you can just go over here to the footer builder again under the main menu, and you can just remove these. So we scroll on down. You can just click on the X button, X button, X button, just like that. And then if you really wanted to, you can click over here and add, for example, a widget really quickly, which is going to add the same menu, but you just have to click on widget 2. And what we'll do is remove this widget by clicking on the 3 dots and say delete. And then you guys can put your logo over here. So we'll click on plus, image, media library, and then we can select our logo. So now you got a logo over here and then your contact information. Actually, if anything, let's go ahead and just we'll move this over here and put widget 1 over here. I don't know why, but having your logo on the left kind of looks correct to me. Completely up to you guys, but I just wanted to show you guys that you can if you want to. But anyways, once you guys are done making changes to your footer, you can click on publish and you guys are done customizing your website. So we can go back to the WordPress dashboard. Now, there are a few distinctions between the premium and free versions of Calendly. And while I believe the premium version offers excellent value and is definitely worth the money, I'd like to show you guys how to use the free version exclusively, just in case you guys are trying to save some money. You can also always upgrade your plan later. With the free version, version of Calendly, you're limited to featuring just one event on your website. You can create that single event. Let's say it's something like AC repair consultation, and that's essentially the extent of it. That's all you get. On the other hand, the premium version offers a lot more options. You're granted the flexibility to create as many events as you may need. So picture this. You establish a basic consultation as your first event, followed by a separate event for an AC repair booking or something like that. And then perhaps the third event is like a combo package. And that's just an example off the top of my head. This means that now your clients have a range of 3 distinct options to choose from and schedule. So the premium version enables you to showcase various services at different price points and time slots, which is really, really nice. Another fantastic feature of the paid version is the color customization. The free version only allows you to use 3 stock colors on your widget, which looks like this. Now with the paid version, you can customize those colors of your widget to match your website, which is a really nice feature. Now the last feature of the paid version that I wanted to talk to you guys about, which is really important, is using payment features. With the paid version of Calendly, you can integrate PayPal and Stripe into your Calendly widget and collect payment up front for your appointments. So for a current website example, you could collect payment for the AC consultation before they even show up. With the free version, you're not able to integrate payments into your widget. So let's go ahead and jump right into Calendly so I can show you guys how to use the free version. So from your WordPress dashboard, we're actually going to bounce over to a new tab, and then we're going to search for Calendly. And then we'll go to their website and create a new account. So easy scheduling ahead. So let's go ahead and click on Google and well, not sign in, my bad. We're going to try and create a new account. So let's sign up for free with Google or Microsoft. Sign up with an email. Well, okay, we'll just do Google and then we'll see if they have a sign up button. So we'll click on Levi Hagen and we're going to allow them to make changes to our calendar. And this is really important because they need to be able to see our calendar. They need to be able to make edits to it and share and permanently delete all of the stuff that's inside of it. And the reason for this is because Calendly is going to double check that you have availability before they allow an appointment to be made, which is really cool. That way you never double book anything. So we're going to go ahead and click allow to make sure that Calendly has access to the calendar. Now, also, by the way, I would recommend you guys have a separate Gmail account that's like a business email. For example, you would want to make your Gmail account airconditioningcapw@gmail.com. That way it's separate from your personal email. So that would be my personal recommendation. And that's what you would use for Calendly. But anyways, so now we have welcome to Calendly. We get to create our Calendly URL, which is basically like our permalink. So it's going to be calendly.com/ not create a pro portfolio. What we're going to do is use our domain name. So we'll come up here and we'll copy @airconditioningcapw.com. So Control C, and we'll paste it here, Control V, but not .com, obviously, because there's the .com right there. So it's calendly.com/airconditioningcapw. Okay. So also you can select your time zone, which right now it's already understanding that I'm in the US Central Time. So we'll go ahead and leave this here, but you guys can use the drop down and select whatever time zone you're in. And then we'll say continue. And so next step in the setup process is your Google Calendar is connected. Here's how Calendly will work with your Gmail. It's going to check for conflicts, and then you can also add events. This is where you can set it up to use custom Gmails. So you can have it edit one Gmail and then do something else. You can click here and actually customize it now if you want to, but I'm going to leave it because that's exactly what I want it to do. So we'll say continue. Next, we get to set the availability that we want for your business. So right now, this is basically, your website is obviously 24/7. People can log onto your website at all times and make appointments with you, but you want them to only be able to make appointments with you in a certain amount of time. So for example, I can always schedule 9 to 5, Monday through Friday is when I'm going to be available, but someone can make an appointment with me on Sunday for Monday at 9 a.m., if that makes sense. So your website is always 24/7. I can contact you on Christmas and book an appointment, but that appointment can only be during my business hours. So that's what you're setting right now. So you guys can choose your custom hours. If you want it to be 10 a.m. to 5, you totally can. So I'll let you guys pick whatever you want. I'm just going to leave it as the stock value for now because it totally works for this example. So 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And so we'll say continue. Next, we get to personalize our experience a little bit. So what's our day-to-day role at work? We can just say that we're a freelancer or a consultant. Obviously, you guys can pick whatever applies to you, or you can click on other, but I'm just going to say a freelancer and we'll say finish. Okay, so now you're going to be thrown inside of your Calendly account. And so I haven't added a credit card or anything yet, right? So far we're using the free one. You guys can take a quick tour, but I mean, I'm going to show you guys how to use Calendly, so there's no point in doing that right now. You also have this little checklist of how to get started. So now that you've created an account, you want to create an event type and then book it with yourself. But you guys don't really need that, the getting started checklist, because I'm going to show you guys how to get started. So there's no point. So this is your Calendly dashboard. It's automatically going to create a stock default 30-minute meeting right here, but I'm going to show you guys how to create one from scratch. So you guys can go ahead and just delete this. We're going to click on the gear icon icon and just delete it because there's no point in having this. Okay, perfect. So this is your Calendly dashboard. Now, before we actually create a new event, there's something I want to show you guys. So you'll see right down here, let's go to the admin center over here in the bottom left corner. I want to show you guys the billing tab really quickly. Here we go, it's loading. Okay, perfect. So you'll notice that we have 3 different packages. We have the standard for 10, Teams is $16 a month, and then the enterprise, which is going to be more expensive, but you have to, get a quote and all of that stuff. Okay, so you'll notice that there's also the free version, okay? So with the free version, you only get 1 event, okay? With other versions, you can have as many as you want. You'll notice that the Teams is one of the more expensive accounts. You'll also notice that you're currently on the free trial for the Teams package right here. So right now, I want to show you guys for this tutorial how to use the free version because I'm assuming that you guys are trying to save money. I'm not trying to show you guys how to use paid versions of anything, especially on this channel. I try to do as many free tools as possible. So I wanted to show you guys that right now, you're gonna be able to do everything the Teams account has because we're on the free trial for it and it ends in 14 days. You'll also know that I did not put in my credit card yet. So it's going to automatically bump me back down to the free version because they don't even have anything to charge me with. So I wanted to put you guys' minds at ease, but right now we are using the free trial for the Teams package. So we will be able to put in more than 1 event, which is unlike the free version. So I wanted to show you guys that whenever you sign up for Calendly, by default, they're going to throw you into a free trial for one of their best plans because they're trying to entice you into using it, okay? Especially because if you create all of these different event types and then all of a sudden in 14 days you're not able to use them, it would make me want to upgrade as well. So I wanted to point that out to you guys. So now if we go back to our homepage, that means that instead of just creating 1 event, we can create multiple. So we can have like 5 different events down here if we want to. Again, that's only for the Teams account or the Teams package. We're on the free version right now. So what I'm going to do for this tutorial is explain to you guys every time something is not included in the free version. And then you guys can obviously make your decision to upgrade later if you want. I'm just going to stick to showing you guys how to use the free version. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So now that we're inside of Calendly, we can go ahead and create our first event type. So let's go ahead and click over here on new event type. And then we've got one-on-one, group, collective, and round robin. You guys can kind of go and play around with how to create any of these. I'm just going to stick to do the one-on-one meeting right here. And then you guys can learn more if you guys want later. So included in the free version, you get one-on-one. So that's what we're going to do. So next we can choose a host. Right now, I'm the only host. But for example, if you own like your own barber shop, for example, hosts would be different barbers that they can select from, for example. So I could have multiple hosts and you can create them later. And then they could select, oh, instead of Levi Hagen, I could do, John, or I could use Mark, whoever you guys want. So, but we're just going to stick to me for now. We're pretending that this is a small company and I'm the only employee. I'm a freelancer, right? So we'll click on next. And so now we get a preview of what the event looks like over here on the right-hand side. And then we've got all of our settings over here on the left-hand side. So the first thing that we get to do is choose the event color, which is just for categorical settings, basically. Only you get to see this color. That's not what's going to pop up on your website. So this is just like, if I want to put this in the red category or the purple category, whatever you guys want, I'll let you guys decide. We'll just stick to the red category for now. Okay, so now we get to name the event. Since we're in the spirit of making an air conditioning company, I'm going to think of an example right here. Let's just do an air conditioning repair consultation. Okay, AC repair consultation. And you'll see that that's what's going to display right here. And it's by Levi Hagen because that is the host of the event. So as you can see, as I make changes over here on the left-hand side, you're going to get a live preview of what it looks like on the right-hand side. Next, we have a duration. Let's just say that it's 60 minutes. So for 1 hour, I do the consultation. Maybe that's not realistic in terms of real life. Maybe consultations take longer. I have no idea. I'm not an AC repair tech. So this is just an example, but you guys get to choose your duration, as you can tell. You can click on custom if you want, and then you can choose, hours and say that this is like a 3-hour consultation, for example. And so now, as you can see, it says 3 hours. We'll just stick to 60. Next is the location. Location doesn't just mean physical location like an address. What location means is where is this meeting? What medium or platform is this going to be held on? Is it an in-person meeting? Is this going to be a phone consultation? Let's just say maybe you're a realtor or you're a stager, a home stager. You might want to do a over-the-phone consultation call. Maybe you're in tech support or something like that, and you help people website updates and stuff like that. Maybe you want a phone call. Next, you could do a Zoom call as well. And if you click on Zoom, you'll have to do like an integration, and I'll show you guys how to do that later, but you basically hook up your Zoom account to this. It's pretty self-explanatory, but that's choosing the location, as you can see. And if you need a little help, you can always click on the little I for information if you want. And so use the location field to specify how and where both parties will connect at the scheduled time. So that's what this is. You can also see all of the different options. You can have it set up where you can ask them. So as soon as they book this, you would basically have them tell you where they want to meet. So maybe you're like a locksmith, and once they book the appointment, they have to tell you where their car is so that you can go and help them, get a new key for the car. So you can ask the invitee. You can do custom. You can do web conferencing, so like Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, all this stuff. So you guys can choose what you want to do. Let's just pretend it's going to be an in-person meeting for now. And we'll say, well, I guess an AC repair consultation would be, you would want to ask the invitee, or maybe you do it over a phone call. But just because this is an example and it doesn't have to make sense, we're just going to do an in-person meeting. And then you guys can put in your address right here. So let's just go something like this, 111 Example Street, Austin, Texas. We can also include additional information. So like if you guys want to give like a little description, like, hey, we're on the southeast corner of blah, 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 you know, you guys can do whatever you want here. So what that would do is if I click on update, you'll see that it appears right here. And that extra information would just appear in either the email or something like that, but we can edit it. And let me just remove all of that gibberish. We'll say update. Okay, so now you'll see that if you schedule the AC repair consultation it's going to be 1 hour long, and this is the address that you would go to meet there. Obviously, again, for a consultation, it would be up to the person. They have to send their address, but let's just pretend you have a brick and mortar store that they have to go to first. I don't know. Okay, so you can also add multiple, by the way. So you can do in person, and then you can add another location option, and this time it could be a phone call. And so I will call them or they will call me, and then you can enter in your phone number. If you're going to call them, then they'll enter their phone number. So we'll click on update. So now we have multiple options. It would be the 111 and then also the phone call. It looks like it's glitching. I could probably refresh the page and show you guys, but for now we're just going to leave it off. I'll just take off the phone number and leave the example of the address right here. Okay, so that is the location, duration, and event name. Let's click on continue. So next, as you can see on the right-hand side, we're updated with a calendar now, as well as your event is now ready. And now we can just add details and settings to our actual appointment. So first, the event details. We already made changes to this. It's just the duration, location, and event name. And we also have instructions if we want. We can put like a little description down here and it'll appear down here. So this is my appointment. This is my appointment description, and you'll see that the description is going to appear right down here. So you can have like a little short description down below. And so when you're done making that, you can say save and close, and it'll take you back to the main area. All right. So next, what we can do is go over here to the hosts and invitees. So you can click on this, and you'll see the host is Levi. Allow invitees to add guests if you want. This is the checkbox that you have. So we'll click on save and close. Next, you have the scheduling settings. So next is where you can actually have some settings for the scheduling. So you can add a date range right here. And so you can say they can only schedule 60 days into the future. So maybe you only want to do bookings 1 month at a time, then you can do that. So maybe instead of 60, you could do, 120, whatever you guys want to do. You can also do calendar days or weekdays. So this excludes weekends, for example, but this is, as you can tell, 60 days into the future. You can also do within a date range, and then you can put in the date range right here. So you can say, I'm only going to book through January. So you could do January 1st if you want to, and also you'll see that so then you would select January, and then you could select your start date as well. So I'm going to click on cancel, but that's how you can do a date range. And then you can also just do indefinitely into the future. So basically it doesn't matter how far into the future. Someone could book something 6 years from now and I've got it on the calendar. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing indefinitely. Maybe do 60 days, or maybe you could even do like 300 days. So you could do like a couple months into the future, 3, 4, 5 months, however you want to do. But I wouldn't recommend doing indefinitely. We'll just stick to 60 days for now. And next we've got our available hours. And so right now by default, it's going to copy from your main availability right here. So as you can see, it's weekdays from 9 to 5, which is the main availability that we set. You guys can do something custom if you want, but I would just leave it here. Next, you have the event limits, which basically gives you like a buffer time. So you can add time before or after your booked events. So for example, if someone booked something at 5, or let's just say at noon, then I could add a buffer time and say before is 10 minutes and after is like 30 minutes. And so now if someone were to book something at noon, for example, then someone wouldn't be able to book something 30 minutes after. So they would have to go at 12:30 would be the next available event. Well, obviously, if it's booked at noon and it goes 1 hour, for example, because this is 1 hour, then 1 o'clock is when it's done. So someone couldn't book something right at 1 o'clock. They'd have to wait till 1:30 to book. So you can add a little buffer time before and after. Let's just go ahead and make it 30 minutes before and after, I guess, just for example. So next we have a minimum notice. So this is the minimum notice that they would need. So they wouldn't be able to book something today at, let's see, it's noon right now. It's 12:43. So let's say that the minimum notice would be 4 hours. They wouldn't be able to book anything except for like 5 p.m. today, if that makes sense, because it would be 4:43 would be 4 hours from now. So you guys get the idea. You can set up a minimum notice if you want. So, that way you have time to scramble, an AC repair tech to send it out there. So you guys can set your minimum hours right here. And then next is the daily limit. So you can set how many events per day. So if you only want to have like 3 consultations per day, then you can set that as a limit right here. Next, you have additional options down below, like time zone display, and then also start time increments. So you can set the frequency of available time slots for invitees. You guys can set these up on your own. I'm just going to leave them as the default for now and then click on save and close. All right, so the next thing that we have is the booking page options. So we're gonna open this up, and the first thing you'll see is the permalink for this actual event, and so there's no reason to change it. It's just AC repair consultation, all lowercase with dashes in between because you can't have spaces. This is basically what's gonna pop up in your URL whenever you're on your website and it's up in your search bar. So no reason to change that. We're gonna leave that the way it is. Next, we have invitee questions. You guys can edit these if you want, and then you can add more questions. So you've got things like your name and email. So if you wanna edit these, you can. The name input, you can make it name or just first name, last name, up to you. I mean, not very many settings there to change, but cool. Allow invitees to add guests, which, you know, depending on what your business is, you guys can decide to edit that or not. And then you've got your questions. And so you can delete this one because it's just a basic question that comes stock with this event. But here's question number 1. Please share anything that will help prepare for our meeting. So if you want to edit this, you totally can. And so you can change the text right here. So please share anything that will help us prepare with your meeting. Done. If you want to add another question, you can make it a different type, and then you can actually ask the question and if it's required or not. Pretty self-explanatory. For the answer type, you've got one line, you got multiple lines, which is like they get, you know, one line or they get like a paragraph box. Radio buttons, which is where they have to select one of the options. Check boxes where they can select multiple of the options. A drop down where they can pick something, and then a phone number. So it's completely up to you guys what you want to do. You could do like radio buttons like this, and then you can delete or add more if you want. So you could say, do you want this to be a 1 hour, a 2 hour, or a 3 hour appointment? If you do check boxes, these are your check boxes, and you could say, hey, do you want to include an additional gutter cleaning? And then do you want to include, I don't even know what additional services would be available or whatever. So that's another option for you guys. You can also do like a drop down and have multiple options. It's pretty self-explanatory whenever you do this. If you select multiple lines or one line, it's just going to give you either one line like this or like this box, which is a paragraph box. That's it. So that's why there's nothing to enter whenever you do a one line. And then you also have phone number right here. So I'll just select a one line, and then you guys could say something like, you know, what is the budget for your project or something like that. You click done, and then it will appear right here as another question. So the next thing that you have is one of the premium features of the Teams package, because remember, I'm trying to show you guys how to use the free version, but it automatically throws you into the free trial for one of their premium options. So this is one of the premium options that you do not get with the free version, but you can collect payment on the form. So you can say, hey, if you want to book a consultation, it's $100, pay me through the website. And the way that you do that is you have to collect payment, and you have to go to the integrations page and integrate a payment system into your Calendly account. If you guys are interested in that and you're willing to pay for the premium version, and you guys want me to do a video on how to add or how to integrate payment systems into your Calendly account, go ahead and leave a comment down in the description. And if you guys are interested in that, I can make another video. But again, I'm sticking to the free version today, so we're not going to add a payment system, but it is cool that it gives you the option as long as you're willing to pay for it. And then lastly, you have your confirmation page. So after booking, it's just going to display the default Calendly confirmation page. Basically, it's just going to show what their appointment is, and they can screenshot it or whatever. And then you also have links on your confirmation page. So if you turn this on, you can have it send them to a specific URL, or if you want it to schedule another event. So you can add a custom link where it would take them straight to, you know, for example, the homepage of your website, or you can just have it go straight to, as soon as they hit done, it'll say, hey, do you want to schedule another event? So it's completely up to you guys. So we'll click on save and close for that one. And then the last one is the communications tab, which is also part of the premium version. But basically you can add, here we go, email reminders, text reminders, and email follow-ups. So basically you're constantly communicating with them via email or text message to keep up to date and remember that they have an appointment scheduled at that time. So I'll let you guys kind of play around with those, but we're not going to do them for a basic event because again, we're sticking to the free version. Okay, so once you guys are done with making all of the preferential setting changes to your appointment, you guys can click either on the share button, or you can just go back to the main menu, your dashboard, and click on done. So if you click on share, this little pop-up is going to show up. So I just wanted to show it to you guys so you guys know what it looks like. And that's how you can immediately start putting it onto your website. You would say add to a website, and you can choose how you're going to do it. But if you click on done, it's going to take you back to your dashboard, and you'll see that you have your first appointment, right? You also have that same share button right here. So if I click on it, it's the exact same dialog box, just so you guys know. So two places of getting to the same spot. Now, again, with the free version, you only get one consultation or one event. So if you guys are willing to pay the $10 a month for the standard, or I think it was like 16 or 18 for the Teams, let's just double check the pricing. Yeah, it's like 16 for the Teams account, then you guys can make multiple accounts. But with the free version, you only get one. right here, okay? Oh, that's billed yearly, so billed monthly, it looks like it's gonna be $20 and $12 a month. So I'll let you guys look at their pricing on your own. But anyways, so for the free version, you only get one. So maybe instead of a consultation, you literally just have this as AC repair, and then they can book an appointment, and then you guys can just show up and do what you gotta do. So up to you guys. But whenever you guys wanna actually place this on your website, then what we're gonna do is first go back to our website and make a place for it, and then we'll come back to Calendly and actually add it to the website. So here we go. We're gonna go open up our website on a new tab, and you guys can decide where on your website you wanna put it. And it doesn't really matter where. You guys can find a spot. What I'm gonna do is go over here to the services page, and I think I'll just place it like right here above services. If not, what you guys can do is put it on the get a quote page. Actually, it's probably more applicable to put it on the get a quote page. So if they actually want to get a quote, they can schedule a consultation right now. And so I'll probably put it right here. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to open our website up in Elementor, and I'm opening the contact page specifically inside of Elementor. And right here, what we're going to do is add a brand new section. So we'll click on the plus button right here, and we can choose how we want the structure of our section to be. Basically, it doesn't matter because we're only putting one widget dead center. So you can just choose one of these two. It really does not matter. I promise you that. So let's just choose the one that points down. And from here, what that just means is instead of stacking horizontally, it's going to stack vertically. That's all it is. So now we can click on the plus button right here, and we're going to search for shortcode, and we can add some shortcode into our website. And then also what we'll do is let's click on the 6 dots to edit the container. We'll go to the advanced tab, and we're going to add some padding on top and bottom. So I think on the top, let's add like 100. And then on the bottom, we'll add like 150. There we go. Well, actually, I mean, we can make it the exact same if we want, so we can just do 100. And then we can add some more padding later, but that way there's a little bit of breathing room in between my calendar appointment system and this contact form and the picture up here. So just a little bit of extra space. All right, so now that we have our shortcode ready to go, you can go ahead and click on update to save your work if you really want to, but we're gonna bounce right back here in a second. So just leave Elementor open on a new tab. We're gonna go over to Calendly. Let's click on the share button. And so now we can either share a link, like if you're going to email it to someone, or you can go over here to add to website, which is the most important for today because we're trying to learn how to build a website. Okay, so now that you've clicked on add to website, you get 3 different options. The first option is to inline embed. Okay, so let me go ahead and just show you guys what this means. We'll click on it and we'll say continue. Next, we get the code on the right-hand side, and then we also have some settings on the left. These 2 settings are part of the free version. The color, this stuff right here, is part of the pro version, the premium version. So normally you are not able to change the color scheme, the Calendly form, unless you pay for the extra $10 or $16 a month or whatever it was. So this is not part of the free version. This is, however, part of the premium version that we're on a free trial for. So I just wanted to tell you guys that you can't change the color. So I'm not going to, but in a little bit, I'll just show you what it looks like. So anyways, once you come over here, you can hide the event type details, or you can hide the cookie banner. It's up to you guys. I'm just going to leave them. And all you got to do is click on copy code, go to your website, and paste the code right here. It's literally that simple. So paste it, and voila, you now have a Calendly contact form inside of your website, just like that. And what's cool is my website already has like this same blue color. It's black, white, and blue. So it already matches the black, white, and blue that comes stock with Calendly. So that was pretty cool. I already knew that was gonna be the color scheme, so that's why I chose the blue color. But you know, you guys can do what you gotta do. I'm gonna click on update to save my work, and then we're gonna preview it on a new tab like this by clicking on the eyeball down here. And now you'll see that when people come to get a quote on my website, they'll scroll on down and they have a consultation form that they can do. I'm also going to remove some of the padding. I think it's a little bit too wide, but you guys get the idea. Anyways, so from here, what we can do is we'll see that we have AC repair consultation for 1 hour. It's at this address. There's a description of what's going to happen. These are the cookie settings that we could have hid if we clicked on that checkbox right there. But anyways, from here, what we can do is we can see all of the availability, and you'll notice that it's only Monday through Friday. And if I click on one of these, it's only 9 a.m. all the way down to 5 p.m., but it looks like with my buffer, it's stopping it at 4 p.m., so that's cool. So let's just say I select noon, and I click on next, and then from here, I can enter in my name, my email, if I want to add any guests, and then also, this is that question that we had at the very beginning. So, or not the very beginning, but remember when we were editing our form, and it asks if we wanted any questions? Well, here's the questions. Please share anything that might help us with our meeting. Remember, that was the question that came default, and we can change it. So you can have this write whatever you want. And you'll notice this is a single line. This is a multi-line. So multi-line meaning I can type, hit enter, keep typing, hit enter, keep typing, right? So that's the difference between single line and multi-line, which I was showing you guys earlier. Anyways, once you guys are done, they'll hit schedule event, and then it will send the event to your calendar, which I just don't care to do right now. But anyways, that's how you guys will have your consultations, not even consultations. That's how you guys can do scheduling on your website, which is pretty cool. Okay, so that is how it's going to look by default, and I wanted to show you guys that. Next, what we can do is actually play around with changing the colors, which is going to change the code, so I'll have to copy and paste it again. So let's go back inside of Elementor. So over here on the left-hand side, if I were to change these colors, I could change the background color. Let's change the background color to just be kind of like more of like a light gray. So we'll kind of do that. And then the text color, we can make black still. I mean, well, you know what? Here, let me just make it look really wacky. So I'm going to make it red for the background color. And then the text color can be yellow. And then the button color can be, I don't know, pink. Or let's go green or something like that. Cool. All right, so this is going to be the color. Copy the code. You guys get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and just hit Control-All or Command-All, and we'll just paste it right here. And now you'll get this wacky looking form. But you guys get the idea. You can customize it to be the same color scheme as your website. That's kind of the idea that they're going for here. So that's what it would look like if you were paying for the premium version and you guys were able to put in your own color scheme here. But you would click on it. You've got all these different colors that look terrible together, but that's the idea. Okay, so I'm going to click on back really quickly and go inline bed again, continue, and it's going to refresh my colors. So I'm just going to copy this and paste in the correct color scheme. That way it's a lot easier to look at. Okay, so that's the first option that you guys have, and it's called inline code or inline embed, right? The second option that you guys have, if you go add to website, is a pop-up widget. So let's go ahead and do this one next. So I'm going to click on pop-up widget, click on continue. And again, you get to choose the colors, but that's part of the premium version, so we're not going to change that. You can change what the button says. So schedule time with me. You can say, schedule your appointment. I'm going to copy the code and let me show you guys what it looks like. So let's go ahead and add another shortcode widget. All right, shortcode widget number 2. And we'll paste the code right here, Control or Command V, and let's update and then preview the website. So I'm going to preview. And now if you scroll on down, you'll have, as you can see, this button down here in the bottom right corner of your website. So as you're scrolling through, it sticks there in the bottom right corner, which is pretty cool. So now you'll also notice there's nothing here. You just had to have a place to embed the code, obviously. So there's an invisible code right here, but it's this button. So now when people are on your website, they can just go over here and click on it, and it's going to be a pop-up that shows up on your website, which is pretty cool. Actually, I kind of like this one more than the inline embed, but that's just my personal preference. And then the same thing, they can click on things, they can schedule their appointments, put in their information, and schedule the event. So that's pretty cool. You have that as well. So now let me show you guys the last one. We'll click on back and we'll do a pop-up text. Click on continue. You can choose what the text says. And remember, I chose the text to say schedule your appointment right over here. So now I'm going to leave it as the default. So schedule time with me. So we'll copy this code as well. Go back to our website and we can paste in one more short line code or short code widget. We'll put it down here. Update. And now you'll see if I preview my changes, we'll scroll on down, you'll see that this is the short line code. And so now you basically have a hyperlink that you can put into any text if you want. So now like halfway through this paragraph, you could put that text right in here. And then anytime they click on it, it does the same thing. It pops up text. Or it pops up the pop-up for you right here. And then you guys can book whatever you guys want again. So that's pretty cool. I really like that Calendly offers you those 3 different options. The first is the button down in the right corner. Pretty cool. Second is that text right here, which is a hyperlink basically. And then the third is your just inline embed, which is where it's just permanently visible on your website. Pretty cool. So let me go ahead and go back into Elementor. I'm going to delete the first 2 here. Or the last 2, I guess. And then instead what I'm going to do is just remove that padding because it looks like the field already comes with padding inside. So we're just going to go like this, delete. And I think that looks a little bit better. Perfect. Okay, so now that that's done, we can close out of that. Back on your dashboard again, if you wanted to create new event types, you would have to click on the new button right here and go through the same process. But again, with the free version, you only get the one. So you guys can decide what you guys want to do. But now that we're done with that, I've already shown you guys how to build a booking website. So now we can just preview the website. So we'll just open it up on a new tab here and let's look at the website we built. Congratulations on building your booking website. I'm sure you guys did a fantastic job following along with me for the tutorial, but if you guys wanted a couple tips and tricks on how to make your website look extra flashy and fancy, check out this video right here where I show you guys how to make your website less boring. In it, I go over some techniques to add flair to your website like motion effects. So I'll see you guys there.